Yeah. Hey, it don't matter what you do. I know you wanna see me lose. Damn, it really hurt to see. Man, you really disappoint me. But I'ma stay true. Feel like it's me against the world. And everybody watching, everybody waiting. I got all eyes on me, all eyes on me, all eyes on me.
I hope everybody out there having a great day today. Hope y'all enjoying yourself. But I wanted to talk to y'all today, have my own artist talk with y'all today. Instead of waiting on the next podcast or interview or whatever. I just want to talk to y'all, have my own artist talk so that y'all can get better understanding of who I am as a person, where I come from, a little history about me. Why I paint, what got me into painting, and what I do on a day-to-day, But we're gonna start here. I guess it's the most important thing, because without this, there's, to a certain degree, no identity. So we're gonna start with the name. Be quiet, Rita. Relax. So we're gonna start with the name. And we're gonna start here because people be asking me my name a lot. They don't just ask me for it, but people ask me for my name a lot, on here, and the junk is actually, in the bio section. It's on the page, so it might not look like a name, but it is a name, and it is hard to say. So yeah, we're gonna start with the name. My name is Olajuwon Gooch. Olajuwon Gooch. Olajuwon Gooch. Olajuwon Gooch. I'm repeating it because that shit hard to say. And you see a lot of letters, and people just lose it when they see all them letters. So it ain't that hard. It's simple. Olajuwon Gooch. Anyway, that's where the OG come from. In my name, why I call myself OG, because those are like my actual initials. That's really who I am. The king is actually a reminder for me. Nothing more than just for me to see, as a reminder every day that that's who I am. That's that's what I strive to live like every day. So it's more of a reminder for me than anything else. So that's where the King OG come from. Anyway, let's get back to the art. When did I start painting or drawing or whatever with art? I started drawing when I was like maybe 5 or 6. When I did my first picture, and I knew in that moment I can draw. But I paint. It was we had a ball cap around the house with Malcolm X on it. It was embroidered on the front of the ball cap. And one day I was bored. I just grabbed a pencil and some paper, and I started drawing it. And I drew it, and my grandma and them loved it. Everybody in the family loved it. And I knew it looked like them, so I was proud to show it to them. But, thinking back on it now, that junk probably don't look all that good. But, it was enough for me to keep going, and to keep exploring that talent, to work it and get better at it. On top of encouragement from the family. So with all that said and done, I ended up auditioning to be in the Magnet Art program. But that started in the 3rd grade. So at the end of the 2nd grade year, I auditioned for that, and I made it. So from the 3rd grade to the 8th grade, I was an actual Magnet Art student. I'm from Miami, Florida, though, so being from Miami, from the perspective that I viewed it and was brought up in, it was either you was gonna play football or sell dope. So I chose to play football. I ain't really want to do the art thing. So once after 8th grade year, I got tired of being forced to do stuff, and create in ways that I really didn't care to create. So I just forget that. I'm finna just focus on football. So I played football. Then I took art again in the 12th grade just to see if I had it. And I learned some new stuff in there. And then after that, I didn't touch art again for like almost 10 years. I'm 31, by the way. So yeah. So after high school, I went to college. I went to Morehouse College, played football there. And I would draw from time to time there, but nothing major. And then after college, I started personal training. So after realizing that I was making LA Fitness a ton of money and I wasn't making, a fraction of that money, so much so that it wouldn't even be sustainable to live off of, I decided to just leave and start my own, training business. And fortunately, life just always has a way of working itself out for me, thanks to my dad. I was living with him at the time, so he was paying the bills, and he was like, man, just do your thing. So I just built the business, and I was a personal trainer for like 5 or 6 years. I built a good business, and then when I turned 27, it's like I hit it was like I hit a reality check. I had started reading books and just really started to question, everything, question me more than anything, and ask myself, was I living life basically to please others, or was I living life, the way I chose to live it? And it was at that point when I was 27 where I was like, fuck everybody. I'm finna live life and do this shit the way I want to do it. Everybody else got their own fair shot. They get their own 24. So I'm finna live mine the way I want to live it. So at that point, I was like, man, I'm finna do everything I'm good at. So I started back doing music. I started painting. I was training then still. I don't know, man, but if I felt like doing it or whatever the case may be, I did it. I wasn't holding myself back or not doing something, focusing on this and not focusing. I'm gonna just do everything that I want to do. I'm gonna live my life in a fashion that I do what I want to do. So working wasn't really, nothing I wanted to do anyway. So I just always was able to build myself, and work on my skills or whatever, and live life in that fashion, and was able to get money in return. So, I appreciated it. So once I started living life for me, living life for myself, then that's when I started to be happy, to be honest with you. And one of the things that made me happy was music and painting, or two of the things that made me happy was music and painting. So toward the end of the year when I was 27, I made a decision that I was going to move to California. Just no real plan with it, but I made that decision. So once my lease ended in my apartment, I went to California. And I didn't know why, but it was like my gut was leading me there. But being there, I felt like California, like my spirit home, being in Southern California. I loved it out there. It was cool, man. It was me, and I think it was in that moment where I was able to grow as a person and as an artist, like in all aspects in California, because that's who I became in California. Every single day I created, literally every single day I created. Didn't matter, like every day I was creating something, music, a beat, mixing something, audio, video, editing, painting, whatever. Like it didn't matter. Graphic design, it didn't matter. I was doing something creative every day. And that's when I found myself as an artist, and then I found myself as a person. So then it was out there, following the year 2017. So I don't know how old I was, but 2017, I'm 31 now, so y'all can do the math. 2017, I think it was when I did my first portrait. It was Lucci. I painted the Lucci painting, and I was like, damn. And for a long time, I hated to paint with acrylic paint because I just didn't know. I don't know. I just didn't understand it. It just I felt like I couldn't control it. So my thing was watercolor and like just drawing, charcoal, shading and stuff like that. So I painted that junk and I was like, man, I like that. So then I just, whatever artist at the time inspired me, I just started painting everything, and then my little brother at the time used to encourage me to paint and give me ideas, which really got me started painting anyways. We was painting on all his clothes. And so, from there, I just kept painting, but I never really pushed painting or approached art in the way that I approach it now. It was just something for me to do, and it's to this day, that's what I do, it's part of my life. So after being in Cali, I really honed in on my art skills. So then I moved back to Georgia in this small town, about 2.5 hours outside of Atlanta. This is where my family from. So I moved back because I felt like it would be a good place to regroup and retry what I know and what I learned from Cali. Retry, at home, around family. And doing that, I coming back here, that shit was hard. Like the transitional phase of being back here was crazy. But I toughed it out, and the thing that got me through was painting. Every day I can paint, and when I'm painting, nothing else in the world matters, and that's how I am when I'm doing anything creative, even cooking, I get in the zone and like nothing matters at that point. So I was able to really like keep myself mentally afloat from painting, and also during that time, I was able to learn myself better, and learn my family better, and being away from them for so long and coming back like that, it was a growth process that made me a better person. So, it was around that time when I decided, like, let me just start presenting this art to the world, I'm finna just start going to art shows if I can get in or whatever, and just see what we can do. So I started posting that I do it, and then an art show came up, Pop Basil, Atlanta, and I went there, no real purpose in mind but to potentially network and see if I can learn something from it. So I went, and then from there, I met D.L. Warfield, a great artist. Y'all need to follow him. He gave me some pointers on how to better present my artwork. And the main thing he said was to frame them. And that was like the best information that I can get, because I knew the importance of framing, but I just didn't care, because I'm like, I'm gonna paint anyways, it don't matter. But it do, and I always pride myself on, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go all in, and I really wasn't going all in. So when he told me that, I knew better. So immediately I started making frames for my paintings. I know how to build stuff too, so I started making the frames for my paintings, and it was just like a night and day, to see a painting in a frame. It gave it a look about it, that was more than just that painting. So I just kept going, and from that point on, I just kept on, I really dove in with it and really pushed the commission art, sales, and really posting it and letting the world, get to see what I'm painting on a day-to-day. So that's how I ended up here today painting. A couple years ago, I just made a decision that I was going to do what I want to do, and to this day, I'm doing what I want to do. And painting is a thing that I want to do. Make music is something that I want to do. Build shit is stuff that I want to do. I'm a creator, and I believe everybody is a creator. Whether you choose to play with it or not, tap into a practice or, whatever, then that's on you. But I love that shit. I love it. That shit keep me going every day, to be able to create, it keep me going. So that's how I started painting, and that's how I kept painting, because the process was like fulfilling, it gave me that feeling I got when I drew Malcolm X when I was a kid, I guess it's like my first portrait, And here I am today, you know, painting portraits that, you know, I'm still surprised that I'm painting. You know, I be just as shocked as y'all probably be when y'all see a portrait I do, you know. But I love it, so I keep doing it. So yeah, so that's my artist talk for today, how I started painting and why I started painting, where I come from, why I still paint. You know, it's life to me, you know. So while y'all listening, while y'all at it, man, y'all see these paintings behind me. Most of them probably on my website, some of them not. But y'all go click the link in the bio and go shop, go buy something if you like it, you know. Hit me up for a commission. Questions, if y'all got any questions, y'all want me to answer, or any questions for me, just comment some questions. I don't know, I'm open to talk. I'm probably gonna talk to y'all a little bit more anyways. So yeah, leave some comments, share this, you know, ask questions, whatever. You know, if y'all artists out there, y'all need help or tips, techniques on you know, anything, man, just hit me up, man. I answer them to the best of my ability, and hopefully we can reach and make a connection, and you understand. But anyway, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the love y'all show my page and my work. It really do inspire me to keep doing, so I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all, and so yeah, I'm about to go ahead and get back to work. But I hope y'all learned something today. Hopefully we can continue to go and learn, you know, together. I love y'all.
I do what I wanna do, move like a boss, so I move when I wanna move.